This is Shorthammer. It is the 21st of November, 2019, and we are taking a look at BA. Now, BA had news yesterday that they were being, I guess it was suggested by the NTSB. I believe that's the name of the organization, that they do upgrades to like 7,000 of their airplanes, which is quite a lot of airplanes. And initially it did dip, but what's funny about institutionally owned, if you're trading a ticker that's heavily institutionally owned, what you have to understand is that the manipulation is going to be at an all-time high. And if something came out that said that the majority of Teslas are going to need to have X work done, Tesla would be still selling today. But with BA, that's not the case. If you look at yesterday, this was the dip, and look where we are today. Like, sort of, it's ridiculous, but that's how it works out. So on Boeing today, my thought process was not to short at the open. And I know some people did, and they weren't happy. My thought process was, I know there will be shenanigans, so this is my game plan. I'm going to let this buy up and push up around these 369s. And if I see any upper wicks, which I kind of like this setup here, I'm going to get short. And depending upon the strength of Boeing, the strength of the market, how the market's moving, from that, I would decide if I would average here at the 370.49 area or wait for the 372 area to average. And whichever spot where I averaged, bullish candle formations above that would be my sign to exit. And so it never made it here, but if it had made it here and I averaged up here, I would exit at least half of my position here. And then sort of, if it sort of bought back up, I'd just be out. But that's just me. And sort of one of the tactics that I use is just I play the levels, and I'm not going to panic too much if something is going sideways for a little bit. As long as the theta doesn't burn me too bad, I'm cool if I'm in contracts. If I'm in shares, it doesn't matter. And so today on this BA, the theta did get me because the theta was larger than my delta. So even though I had movement in the underlying to the downside, because of that sideways action, the theta actually ate up a lot of my profits. So as this sold off, I didn't make as much as I wanted to make. It was a green trade, but I was just expecting an impulsive reactionary move from BA, and either a strong push to the next level or a strong rejection. Instead, I got sort of a meandering movement on BA, and near the middle end of the day when their negative trade news came out, it dipped. So, and it bought back up. Of course, that's what Boeing does. This area, buyers are stepping in. So what I'm watching for Boeing tomorrow is I am not getting in at this 372 area. Not going to happen. Could that be the top? Maybe. I'm not getting in there. I'm going to see if it gets to 375. If it never makes it, that's fine. I guess I will not be taking the trade. I usually have 3 or 4 different trades that I have on while I'm waiting for specific levels. But I would rather wait for the 375 extension and be able to fade that and have a potential average point at the 378. So I'm not going to get in my full position here at the 375. I'm gonna get in a portion here, and if it makes it higher, get in the rest of the position. So, and then sort of exit on the pullback. So I'm going to be watching this to see what we do. If we go no higher than this, or if we tag here and there is weakness and we sell on a back test and continued selling pressure, I might take it back down to this 367 area. But we'll see tomorrow what Boeing how it moves and what happens. What you want to keep your eye on is the financials. So the TLT and just bonds have been bidding up, and the financials have backed off, but they have not sold. So they're still kind of holding on with the kung fu grip. And I'm watching for some selling to come in. Boeing has had news that has come and it has not reacted to the news how I would think it would react to the news. So I think that headed into the end of the year, you're going to look for, there may be some buying, but also look for some selling. And I'm expecting some selling to come in on not just Boeing, but quite a few tickers that are really, 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 really far up. Um, People are going to have to sell some of their shares to pay their taxes. That's going to happen. So there's a lot of movement that we'll be seeing over the next few months. I'm going to keep an eye on Boeing tomorrow. We'll see how it moves, but those are the levels. Watch the financials. I think it's the XLF if you want to watch the ETF, or if you want to watch the individual tickers like GS or I believe CWFC, BAC, so you can sort of see how they're moving. But if the financials finally just give it up as they should based on the movement in the bonds and interest rates, then we'll definitely see some selling come into the market. So we'll see. And the news today of the disagreement over the progress on the phase one of the trade deal, it's going to create turbulence in the market, especially headed into the holidays. This is going to be really interesting what's going on here. So keep an eye on that and watch your positions. Don't go too large. Don't be afraid to size down, because some of these movements, there are people that were getting long at the time that the trade deal news came out, and they got rocked. So trade your plan. Don't be afraid to take profits or scale out if you see significant green and you like it, and only ride a few. Just cover your six. That is my advice. Cover your six.